Yeah, earlier I was. Yeah, I was watching some tape and just watching the last game one more time. It was a great battle. Obviously, it's unfortunate that we lost the game. There's a lot to look forward to. And so, like I said last night, there's so much to look forward to. And now the preseason basically starts. The off season, I guess you could say, it really starts now. And so that's what we talked about in our team meeting. I think for me, I was flying back on the plane, and Robert Turbin, me and him are really, really close. Obviously, rookie has done a great job for us, and he was sitting next to me. And we always, amazed next to me and everything. He's like, man, that was an unbelievable game, man, you played. The thing for me, I told him, Robert, I wait for those moments. I love having the ball in my hands with 2 minutes to go. But when we're down, we got to get a touchdown. We need something. That's where I thrive. That's where I want to have the ball in my hands to win a game. And unfortunately, we didn't get the win. That's all I care about, And so now it's on to the next thing, the next chapter.
What's how long did it take you to flip that switch to get over the disappointment yesterday and move on to the promise of the future?
It took me to the time I got through the tunnel, basically. I think the biggest thing is, I've learned from playing professional baseball and playing the quarterback position in college and now in the NFL, the best way to move on is to move on as quickly as possible. Learn as much as you can, understand, what you can do better, in the future, and how you can set your team up to make sure that you don't get in those situations again, and just remember those for the future. But I think the biggest thing is always looking forward to the next opportunity, and always having that positive mindset and staying hungry. Staying hungry to continue to learn and be on that constant quest for knowledge, like I always say. And there's so many areas that I can get better, and that's the thing that I'll have to do this off season, is continue to watch the film, continue to see, look at all the cut-ups of this past season and what I've done well and what I could have done better, and some of the decisions I've made that have been really, really good, and some decisions that I've made that haven't been so good, and how can I fix those? And the goal for me is, if I'm here right now, well, how can I get 10 times better? I think that's the biggest thing, and that's the same thing for our football team.
How much will being here from day one as opposed to coming in last year in May help in that process?
I think that'll help a lot. I think that obviously being here and being in the system, being with the players that we have, and getting used to the fans, the unbelievable fans that we have, and being in the stadiums, the tough stadiums and the venues that I've played in the National Football League, being used to the speed of the game, understanding that, being smart in the red zone and getting rid of the ball quick in the red zone, being great on third down is crucial to being very, very successful. And, that's what I can't wait for. I have that learning experience now, and now the goal is, what can I do with it?
What were you looking for when you were watching the film?
Just watching the game and seeing, what I could have done better, what our team could have done better, and what we did really well. And, I always, am very, very critical of myself. And so I like to watch those type of things. I like to watch my footwork more than anything and see, am I getting the ball out on time? Are my reads correct? Am I reading it the way I want to read it in terms of the progressions? I think that, for me, when I get my depth and my drops, and when I'm making the right protection calls and I'm getting back in my drops and just trusting the right read, it's pretty hard to stop. And I think that's what shows on the film, and I think we did a great job last night, and guys really, really stepped up their game and made some huge plays for us. The offensive line did a great job, and the defense did a great job of keeping us in the game, and so I basically play the game over in my head and just really watch it again. I watch all the down and distances and look at the situation again, and just play the game again.
Sean posted on Facebook the term unfinished business. Is that sort of a theme for you guys going forward? How much of a motivating factor yesterday could be going forward as well?
I definitely think so. Obviously Marshawn's is the nucleus of our team in terms of how he runs the football, in terms of how he works, and all the plays that he's made for us this season, and he'll make for us in the future. And I think that the idea of unfinished business, the key is, at the same time though, it's a new season, so we can't look back. And I think that's where you got to have a fine balance. You got to balance things really, really well. Obviously there's very, very high expectations for our football team now, and that's great to have. That means that we got to work that much harder in practice. We got to work that much harder in the off season,